You don't have to walk this path alone. I'm here, I'll take you through the hill you climb all on your own. It's steep and long. In the darkness of your world, I'll meet you on your knees and make all things new. And as Jesus takes my hand.
Hey there, welcome to Manna-Festations. This is Penny Cook. Today we're going to talk about college life. And so this may appeal to many of you of all generations. That's my hope. As a grandmother and a great-grandmother myself, I'm totally involved in decisions and hearing about college life. And you may be a student in high school interested in thinking about where you might go to college. So settle in and hope you enjoy this episode. I am joined today by two incredible young women that just happen to be my granddaughters, Savannah Sweat and Kayna Walmsley. Savannah will be starting her sophomore year at Berry College this August, and Kayna is finishing her senior year at the University of West Georgia. Two different schools, two different seasons, but both walking through college life while learning to trust God in the middle of it all. I'm so glad both of you are here. It's going to be a good conversation today. But before we dive into your story, you know, the meaning behind this podcast, Manna-Festation, speaks to the provision of God in our everyday life. And we often associate manna with bread from the story in Exodus in the Bible. So, Savannah, we'll start with you. What's your favorite type of bread?
Sourdough.
Ooh, yum. That's good. Kayna, what about you?
Garlic.
Garlic bread. Ooh, yeah.
Sourdough is good too.
Lasagna and spaghetti and pizza and all
Yes.
that stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you've listened to my podcast before, you know I love most bread, but I really do appreciate a more healthy diet, especially these days. My friend Naomi Fricke helps me with that. She owns Yellow Daisy Bakery in Dallas, Georgia, and she made this amazing banana nut bread, and I have a fresh one here for you today to take home with you. Naomi uses all fresh ingredients, soft, fresh milled flour, no bleaching, no preservatives, so you better eat this one quick and share it with your family. I've been frequenting her bakery now for the last month, and I've loved everything that I've tried. So good. And it feels good knowing that I'm eating better and healthy ingredients, and they taste delicious. So you can find Yellow Daisy Bakery on Facebook, and the owner, Naomi Fricke, she'll post weekly menus and a price list. So go check out Naomi at Yellow Daisy Bakery in Dallas, Georgia. We'll drop a link for her Facebook page and a QR code in our show notes at the end of this episode. And when you contact Naomi on your first purchase, she'll give you 15% off. Let me just start by briefing you on each of the girls' paths and how prayer and trusting God for his provision help set their direction. Then I'm going to let them share their story with you. Savannah, we'll start with her. She was a cheerleader in high school and had the opportunity to continue cheering in college. But she had to wrestle with the decision a little bit because it can take up so much time. College is a brand new experience, and she wanted a balance in her life, not just to be centered 100% on cheering. So there was that to consider when she started looking at colleges. And so she prayed about it. And not just her whole family surrounded her in prayer. And on top of that, it had to be financially possible. But God did make a way. She cheered her freshman year at Berry, and now she's stepping into her sophomore year as co-captain. And what I love most is that she can clearly see that she's exactly where God placed her. Kayna's journey looks a little different, but just as powerful. She started college after high school at a local technical school here in West Georgia, all while carrying a dream from scouting out colleges to attend Liberty University in Virginia. She prayed for that opportunity, and God eventually opened that door. She moved to Lynchburg and experienced college life there, which she loved. They had beautiful campus. They had excellent chapel times. good prayer life, a lot to offer. It was exactly what she had prayed for. But it also meant being very far away from home. And this is a very close family. We enjoyed dinners together, vacations together. And for her, she was 8 hours away from home. And I remember her traveling back and forth, and she would drive sometimes 8 hours each way or fly home multiple times a month. So after that first year, she had a big decision to make. She chose to come back home to Georgia, though, and is now finishing her degree at University of West Georgia and is thriving. She's almost done.
Yes.
Exciting.
Finally.
Yeah. What stands out in her story is this, too, though, that every decision she had to make, every change, God and family have stayed at the center. And what I love about both of your stories is that it wasn't just a straight line. You know, it wasn't a perfectly mapped out path. You had to pray, and you kept inviting God into your decisions to see what was best. And that's what this conversation tonight's really about. So, Savannah, take us back to that decision about it was time to leave high school. You wanted to cheer in college. What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, I just remembered being really busy with high school cheer because we practiced 4 days a week, and then we had games on Friday, and then we had competitions on Saturday. So it was like a 6-day thing.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like that was very feasible going into my first year of college because I wanted to have a balance and I wanted to have a personal life and a social life outside of cheer. So I wanted to find a place that was very low commitment, and then I found Barry, and we only practice a few times a week, and then there's not many games because we only do home games. So
right.
That's how I came to that.
That was a good fit. What was it like to truly pray and get other people to pray with you instead of just saying, okay, this looks good, I think it'll fit?
Well, I think that praying, I had to really trust God through it all because it didn't look like there was a way that it could happen financially because Barry is a very expensive school.
Very expensive, yes.
And I just had to keep praying, and the Lord just kept opening doors as me and my family were praying, and eventually got me where I am today.
Right. And I remember that because you got us all involved in it. We have a family chat that we do through text, and so that was a big part of it. We knew where they were in the praying and in the decision process, and we would get text at any time during the day, say, pray for this. And then we would also get a praise day or so later, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, that says, hey, God opened this door.
Yeah.
So it was pretty clear. Now, if you think about next year, you're going to be stepping into kind of a new role there as co-captain. How's your faith shaping that?
Well, it really just reminds me. I watched a podcast the other day, and they said if service is beneath you, then leadership is above you. And it really just showed me that I should be serving my team as I'm leading them, because having a servant heart is just really important. I feel like the people on my team would respect me more if I was serving them and not just telling them what to do.
Perfect. Yeah. And, we've been talking about God opening doors, and I think he certainly opened that too. And he gives us peace when we know we're following his direction. It might not make sense to anybody else. Sometimes it doesn't. But if you know you're where God wants you to be, that's perfect for going forward. So, Kayna, your stories had a lot of movement in it, as we touched on a moment ago. Starting local, then going to Liberty, then coming back. What's that been like emotionally while you're handling all of college and family life?
Well, for me, I don't think it's been that difficult because that's just how I am. I don't think too deep into everything, and I'm very go with the flow. I knew that starting out, I was not sure what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure that I wanted to go away either. So I was I'm just going to start at a technical school, but You can't get a 4-year degree there. So then I was either between moving to Liberty or going to West Georgia. And I knew that West Georgia was not going anywhere and that I could go to Liberty now or regret not going later. I mean, it was hard, but at the same time, it was kind of, I felt like I was supposed to go, and so I did. And then I felt like I was supposed to come back.
Well, yeah, and that was my next question is, how did you know it was time to come home? Besides the gas price.
Yes, that was very bad. I think it was mostly because I had 2 small nieces at the time, and I just felt like being that far away from them was really hard, and I didn't want to miss like the most important fun part of their lives.
Right.
And I did love it, but going up there, I didn't know if I was going to stay for the whole 4 years to begin with. I just knew that I wanted to go and try it. And so after the first year, I was like, I don't think I should stay up here because I gave it a try. And I did enjoy it, but like I said, I don't think that being 8 hours away was something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we loved seeing you when you came home, flying or driving.
Every 2 weeks.
But yes, that's a lot. It's a long trip. But we also knew that that was something that really was on your heart.
Yes, and I'm glad I did it.
Yes, and you have no regrets, so that's good. And, sometimes I think, not trying to speak into God's will, because I certainly don't know what he has in store for you. But, a lot of times God does give us the desires of our heart. And that was yours, and that could have just been a gift from God to let you experience that. So I think in all of our choices, mine included, no matter what our age, as long as we're following the Lord, and that involves obedience a lot of times. Obedience doesn't always look like moving forward. Sometimes it just looks like, I need to go left. I need to just move over here. You might not be moving forward. And I think that happened to you. You even lost some college credits by doing that.
Yes, I did. I lost multiple, but there was nothing I could do about it. So I tried to not let it stress me out, although it really irritated me at the time.
Of course.
Because I had to go back and take multiple science classes, multiple math classes, stuff I didn't even need for what I was majoring in. But now since I'm past that, it's okay. And I am technically a year behind like the people that I would be graduating with.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I'm ready to graduate college yet anyway. I just love where I'm at right now. And so I don't really want, a full-time, I won't say a full-time job, but that is what I don't want right now. So I kind of enjoy
You have to be ready
being in college.
Well, and again, God knows where you're at.
Yeah.
And that, again, that obedience to follow his will and not just our own.
Yeah, and part of that was just not knowing what I wanted to do. Like, I started with nursing, and I really did think that I was going to do that, but then it was kind of just, it all came down to basically not wanting to have to do all the requirements to be a nurse. I don't want to get all these vaccines to have to work in a hospital. So I changed my mind. But I'm so glad I changed my mind. I really like what I'm doing now way more than I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. So
well, and that's important. And sometimes, especially, we're talking about prayer again, like we were a minute ago with in Savannah's instance. And sometimes God can change our minds when we're praying. Your will be done. If we do that, a lot of times he'll change our want to and what's best for us. So I was thinking as we were preparing for this podcast about, especially about your journey and coming home and what we were talking about of just moving left or right. You're maybe not even feeling like you're moving forward. And with yours, it took a while to get to Barry, the decision you had to make. And I know a lot of you, if any of you are in high school right now trying to make that decision, it's tough sometimes. But I thought about, as I was preparing for this, the story in the Bible about Abraham, where God just told him to pick up and move, and I'll show you where later. And, to think about that, to me, that would be really scary. But again, that's obedience. He got up and he did what God said to do. And we always think, okay, well, he moved forward, and yes, he did go where God told him to go, but didn't mean it wasn't scary along the way, because if you know the story at all, he even introduced his wife as his sister one time because of the fear that was encompassed around him at that particular juncture. And maybe there were times where he had to go left to avoid something, or right, and not just straight forward. Still got where he was going by obeying God. So good point. So we talked about big decisions in a short amount of time. So sometimes, especially with your story that I'm remembering, big deadlines were always, I've got to know by this day, and I have to turn this application in by this time.
Yeah.
And then you had cheerleading tryouts, and those are all things that weren't controlled by what your timing was, but somebody else's. So what does it look like to seek God in those moments when you're having to give him, or you think you are, a timeline, and say, okay, God, by this day.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with my friend today. It's like, during those times when I'm on a very strict timeline, like, I know that the Lord is going to provide. I'm just, like, getting stressed out while it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to just tell myself, like, if it doesn't happen the way that I think it's going to happen, then there's something better, and there's a reason that it didn't happen that way. And it just, like, I just have to sit in that and, like, remind myself that whenever I start to stress out about it, because obviously, like, my timeline is not the Lord's timeline, and I just have to sit in that and, like, pray about that. And obviously, I still talk to God and tell him, like I'm honest. I'm like, this has to be done by this time.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to, like, get this done.
Like he doesn't already know.
Yeah. And even if it's, like, an hour before, like, it always ends up working together better than I could have imagined. And
It does, yeah.
in those moments, I just remind myself how it's worked out in the past, and that just helps me get through it.
For both of you, then, how does having family pray with you over that? How does that help you, and what does that mean to you? I mean, because I already talked about the family chat that we have.
It makes me feel, like, better and more at peace knowing that there's multiple people praying about it and not just one person. And I know the Lord hears every prayer, but, like, to me, it just, like, makes me feel more at peace about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I remember when I was, like, struggling, like, if I should go to Liberty or not, and Bob's health was, like, not that good, and I was, like, stressed, and he was like, I'll be here when you get back, like, you have to go. And just knowing that, like, I'm supported no matter which way I go, even if I stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes a difference knowing that no one's mad at you. Like, you have a huge support system.
That's right.
Whichever way you go.
So, and I remember, and we get the text all different times, and at 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I remember recently, Savannah's like, okay, I have finals today. Everybody pray.
It's everything. She's like, I have to register for classes. Please pray. I'm so stressed.
Asked them all too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, okay. Yeah. So it's good to lift each other up. It's good to have that support system. Even if it's not your family, if you have a friend or a prayer partner, somebody you can trust. Just, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you need, like,
Support.
other people's advice. Because, like, you'll stress yourself out, but when you, like, put it into the group chat or, like, just talk to people, you hear, like, that you're not crazy. Like, the calm part of it, like, everything's going to be fine, even when you don't think it's going to be fine.
Good point. So, all right, let's think about your experience in school. You're in class, or you're maybe at a social event or something for school, especially your first year. It's been a little bit of time, but you've had some first years in different schools recently. Yeah. So sometimes things can feel uncertain. You know, what's this going to feel like? Who are the people I'm going to be around? How do you stay grounded in who you are in Christ with all of these other elements shifting around you?
I think it's good to have, like, friends who are also rooted in Christ, and, like, they can be your support system, and they can go try new things with you, and just, like, spending time with them while you're in those new environments helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, in my like school, I have like the same 50 or I guess like 40 people that are in every single class with me. And at first I was like a little stressed. I'm like, I really don't like know any of these people and I have to see them like in every single class every day.
Right.
But I'm actually glad because if anyone knows me, I'm just like not a talker really. Like I don't have a huge group of friends, but that's like by choice. I just enjoy the small group I have. But I actually am glad that it's the same people because I've grown to know that like you can talk to these people. Like it's not bad to have friends. Like I don't know. Like if you're struggling, like they're struggling too.
Yes.
Like we're all going through the exact same thing, and so that makes it so much better. Because like if you like you're not the only one that failed or thinks you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
we're all doing the exact same thing.
Everybody's thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as things shift and change and are even scary, that's one thing about God is that He's always there. He's always constant. He's not really going to throw a pop test in your face, you know, something, oh, that's different. No, He is just what His Word says. All right, now let's have a little fun with this question. So some people who haven't been to college yet, or maybe they've just been out for many, many, many years, they might have an idea, okay, college is like this. So what's something people think college is like that it's not?
I think some people think that college is just like going to parties every night, like all the nightlife and like being away from your parents and doing whatever you want. But like, I feel like for me, in my case at least, that's not how it is. Like, me and my friends will go hang out and stay out late, but we're like going to cook out and getting food or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's just like going out and partying all the time, for me at least.
Yeah.
And I like it like that.
Well, I started to say, I'm sure it can be the environment
Yeah.
that you're around. And even if that is true of a school, it doesn't have to be true of your particular group.
Yes. Like, there's definitely some people that do, but like, me and my friends don't do that, and we have just as much fun.
Yeah. What about you, Kayna?
Okay, I'm gonna go like the opposite of that. Although what you said is really true, but I'm
Yeah.
like gonna say something about like the opposite of that. I feel like at least the people that I'm in my cohort are like school, sleep, stress, cry.
Ooh.
Like it's
Okay.
bad. Like every single assignment they're like crying, texting in the chat that we have, like I haven't eaten today, and I'm like,
oh goodness,
y'all, and I don't do that. I find like I do so much better. Like you just need to calm. Like if you spend like every single waking second like
Yeah.
stressed, worried about your schoolwork, you're gonna do worse. Like you have to realize that you can live and also put schoolwork like as a priority. But I feel like I didn't realize that it was that bad until I got into like the cohort that I'm in.
That you're in,
And I'm like, I'm not doing any of this stuff. Like I still like have fun. Like I'm not up till 4 a.m. studying all the time. Sometimes
That's how
I
I
am.
felt
But
first semester when I was getting acclimated to college, but then second semester, like I kind of learned how to
You have to get a
manage my
balance.
time
Yeah.
and like find my balance.
So
Yeah.
did you see that happening too with some people? Your
Honestly-
first semester or not?
Honestly, I felt like I was the only one because I had asked my friends if they were going through it too, and they were like, "No, I'm like fine."
that's so funny.
I'm just wondering if it's a senior year thing. I'm almost done. I cannot fail. I have to graduate.
That could be true.
I wonder.
That could be true.
Maybe.
I don't remember seeing that at Liberty either, and I don't know if it was because
But you were
everyone there
kind
was
of
like
a freshman, sophomore.
yeah, I was. But everyone like that school had so many things outside of class. Like every single day they had like fun things that we could all do. So, but I feel like at West Georgia, it's not really like that as much, and especially now that am a senior, like we're
Yeah.
like right there kind of. So I feel like that's probably why everyone is stressed.
Could
But
be.
I just realized that like I do better if I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
Like my grades are better. Like I feel better. So yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so let me start with you because I'm always turning this way first. So, what's your favorite part so far? What's been, if you look back over all of yours, you've got almost 4 years under your belt. Favorite part?
My favorite part is definitely when I moved to Liberty because I was not independent like at all. And in
That's true. She wasn't.
Yeah, no, like, I did everything with my mom. I called her all the time, which I still do that. But that was the first time I had ever, like, stayed away from home. And I actually I know I did come back a lot, but the, like, time I was there, like, by myself, it was kind of fun to just, like, not have anything. Like, I can go anywhere by myself. Like, I have this whole room to myself. I had never lived by myself. And it was really fun. And I enjoyed, like, the weekly convocation that we had, like, 2 times a week. That was my favorite part of going to Liberty as well. The campus was great. The town was not great. But the campus itself was really great. So that was definitely my favorite.
That's cool. Savannah?
My favorite part is just the people that I've met. Like, I feel like I'm only in my freshman year and I've already met my friends that are going to be the friends for the rest of my life. Like, and who pushed me closer to Christ. And I feel like in high school I did have a few friends like that, but this is the first time I've had, like, a lot of friends that, like, we regularly talk about God together, and, like, that's just a part of our daily conversation, and we're both, like, pushing each other closer to that, and I'm just, like, really thankful I found that.
Yeah. So you're about your freshman year, you stayed at home.
Yes.
And drove, commuter. You're about 45 minutes from the campus, so not too far. Next year you will be on campus.
Yes.
And so let's talk about you at Liberty. And you haven't really experienced this yet, but you will next year.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it helped you find out more about yourself while you were away?
Yes, I did. I really felt like I had, well, because I was going up there not knowing anyone. So I did make a few, like, friends, but I'm really just not, like, a person that goes out and makes friends. I did talk to people, but for the most part, like, it was me. And I felt like I didn't have any, like, distractions, I guess, that I would have at home. Like, I would go back to my dorm and I read the whole New Testament of the Bible while I was there. Like, I made a plan to, like, read a lot every day so I could finish it. And then it's like, I realized that when I come here, I have, like I was just so, like, in tune up there because it was just me.
Right.
But it's okay. Like, you have to learn balance.
Yeah,
because I'm not always going to be by myself.
Right, yeah.
But I really am so much more independent now than I was before I went. I mean, I still am, like, super close to my family. I still do everything with my mom. But I realize that I don't have to.
Right.
Like, I'm okay by myself. Or, like, somewhere far away. Because I can still talk to you guys. But, you know.
Wow. So, what are your thoughts about next year when you're not home?
I'm really excited, and I think that I am going to be home a lot just because I'm really close to my family, and I'm right there. I'm only 45 minutes away. But I'm also, like, not scared about being alone. I think that everything happened at the perfect time because I think if I did live on campus my freshman year, it would have been a lot getting acclimated to college and living by myself for the first time. So I'm really glad it happened the way that it did, but I'm just, like, excited to have that time to myself and not have to spend 2 hours of my day driving.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I feel like you'll love it because you have friends up there that, like you said, if you were to do it, like, at the beginning of last year, you probably would have been, like, I feel like it'll just be better.
Yeah.
Because you're already, like, accustomed to everything there, and you're, like, have all these friends that will be, like, with you. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the favorite part. Let's be honest. What's been the hardest part, Savannah?
I think my first semester, I already talked about this, but acclimating and, like, finding a balance between my personal life and my school life. I feel like last semester I had, like, no balance at all. It was just, like, school all the time, and I was so stressed all the time. And I feel like even taking harder classes this semester, I've still found a balance. Like, I did good in all my classes this semester, and they were all harder than mine last semester, and I managed to, like, still have time to hang out with my friends and, like, go out and do stuff with them. So that was definitely the hardest part, though.
Big adjustments. Yeah. Kayna?
I would say the hardest part was when I first got to West Georgia, and my advisor was like, none of these classes transfer, and I was like, lady, come on. Like, this cannot be right. Like, Like, I had taken all these biology classes, but I didn't take fundamentals of biology, so I had to go back and take everything that I had already taken. So that was, like, really hard because I was like, I'm already a little bit behind. Like, why am I having to retake all of these classes? But now I love where I'm at right now because I'm actually learning about what I'm going to be doing. And it is hard. It's really hard. But I feel like it's not that bad because I do enjoy it. It's not like I'm learning about some random stuff. Like, I feel so much better now because I really am interested in what I'm doing. And it is super hard. But it's also, like, rewarding because I feel like I am learning stuff. And I feel like I could go out and graduate now and be ready almost. But I feel like I've gotten to the easy part. I feel like I passed the hard part. Yeah. And it was hard, but, yeah.
So we've talked a lot about decisions that you had to make and some experiences. Let's focus inward for a minute. So have you ever struggled in your college life, or if you want to go back to high school life, that's fine too, with comparison? Maybe, you're sitting in class thinking, everybody knows more about this than I do, and I don't feel adequate in here. I don't even know why I'm in this class. Or maybe it's a social thing. I just don't fit in. Or even at church, even outside of school, it's like, wow, I'm not sure that I'm up to par with the maturity of all the Christians around me. I know I'm slacking. So academically, socially, spiritually, you ever compared yourself?
I feel like I definitely have academically, especially, like, I'm a science major, but I'm not very good at science. But I'm really passionate about, like, what I want to do. But to get there, I obviously have to take a lot of science classes, and that stuff just, like, doesn't come easy to me. A lot of the people that I've taken science classes with, it just seems like for them it just, like, comes really easily. And for me, I do have to work a little bit harder, and, like, I just have to tell myself, like, that's okay, because in the end, we're all going to be, like, on the same playing field when we get out of school. Absolutely. Like, it doesn't, my grades don't really matter at the end of the day as long as I get where I'm going.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
What was the question? I was listening the whole time.
I know. Struggle comparing yourself to someone else, or?
Okay, yeah. I remember, like, I don't feel this way anymore, thankfully, but I remember, like, I think it was last year, my first semester of junior year, and it was, like, the first, like, real classes for my major. And I went in, and the teacher was, like, saying all this stuff, and the students were saying all this stuff, too, of, like, stuff she was going over, and I'm like, I have never heard anything. And I'm like, how do you guys know this? Like, did I miss something? But now I feel like I am not that way. Like, I feel like I've definitely caught up, and I'm where everyone else is, so I don't compare myself anymore. Because I have, like, I know some people are like, I have to get a 100, like, a 95 won't do. Mm-hmm. And I don't compare myself to that because that's just not important to me. I think as long as I'm successful in the class and, like, I don't feel the need to, like, compete for the best grade in the class. So I don't really struggle with comparison. I don't feel like I ever have. Even in high school, I feel like I've always been just who I am, and I'm, like, very okay with that. So I haven't really, like, compared myself.
I'm going to move back a few years.
Okay.
Continue with this question. What about gymnastics? Did you have that feeling then or not? That's more the culture there to compare.
It is. Maybe a little bit. I still don't think I'm, like, the most competitive person.
Yeah.
So I was like, third place, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have to get first place. And I know, like, my dad is so not that. Like, he is so competitive. Like, if you're not first place, like, you better get first place.
I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking.
But he's not, like, mean about it. Like, if you don't get first place, it's for himself. Like, he thinks he has to get first place. But, I mean, it was a little bit harder in gymnastics because everyone was so, like, tiny. And, like, I was not even big or anything, but, like, just compared to, like, everyone was so little. Mm-hmm. And, like, some coaches, like, make you think that, like, you're not as good or you can't be as good, which I think is just dumb.
I felt that way, like, just being taller
Tall.
than
I
everyone.
started to say you had a different issue, but
Yeah.
it's still in gymnastics.
Just being taller than everyone from the moment that I started.
Yeah.
I obviously looked a lot older than everyone because I was taller and I felt like out of place.
I still, even with gymnastics, I don't know if it was just like my mom or the way I was raised. I never let it get to me, like ever. And I still don't let things get to me. Like, I know who I am. That's good enough for me, and I don't really care what other people have to say about it.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I was looking for a segue to it. You did a perfect one there because, we are fearfully and wonderfully made by God. It's in Psalms, and that is a promise from God. From the time we're born, He knows our characteristics, He knows our DNA, and we're personal to Him. So how do you remind yourself of that if you have those moments that you were struggling?
I feel like I just think that all the time, like throughout my whole life. I have like friends who struggle really a lot with like who they are, always changing their personality or the way they dress or anything because they feel like they have to fit in. And I feel like I've always been the like level-headed like for them. And so it helps me feel like I don't want to be that way. I don't want to think that about myself. And I don't think that about myself. And I don't think that about them either.
Yeah.
So I feel like having to help my friends with that helps me realize that like I don't have to do that. Like we are all like fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah.
I feel like it was hard growing up, like being taller than everyone because I'm 5'10" and obviously like that's really tall for a girl. Growing up through like elementary and middle school, I was like the tallest one. We'd be walking in the hallways and I'd be able to see like over everyone. It was just like hard because I always felt like I stuck out. And I just like, as I've grown in my faith and like gotten closer with God, I've just like gotten to the point where I remind myself like if I feel insecure in moments, I remind myself that like I was made this way for a reason. Like this isn't a surprise that I turned out like this.
Yeah.
And He like envisioned my life knowing that I was going to be like this. So yeah.
And that's all because we invite Him in to become part of His plan. Because after all, it was, like you said, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And that's what Manna looks like in every season. Not some 4-year college plan that's going to be a straight line. Just enough direction to give me the next step, Lord. And so, what comes next for you?
Well, I have
What's on the horizon?
I have one more fall semester, and then I have an internship. Instead of taking classes, I'm so happy about that. Like, I do not, it's not that I don't like school, I'm just not, like, passionate about going to school. So I feel like once I'm really in the setting, I'll be so much, like, I feel like I will learn so much more instead of just, like, reading notes and taking a test, because that can only set you up for so much when you're doing something like this. So I'll be fully done in May, and then I'm not sure what I'll do after that. I'm eventually going to get my master's, but I don't know if I'm going to like work a few years and then do that, or do it at the same time.
Degree and profession will be in what?
Speech therapy.
Speech therapy. And what about you? What's next up for you? And then what's your degree in?
My degree is in exercise science, and I want to be a physical therapist, but I have to finish my bachelor's, and I have 3 more years of that, obviously, and then I have to get my doctorate after that. And I'm planning on, we have to do an internship before we graduate, so I'm doing that. And then I'm probably going to work while I'm in my doctorate program. I don't really know. I'm just trying to get through bachelor's right now.
I know.
Yeah. And then obviously I'm being co-captain this year for cheer, so.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you both. But let's close in prayer right quick. Lord, thank you for meeting us here in every season of our life, even in the busy, uncertain, and sometimes overwhelming college years. Remind us that our identity is found in you, not through our performance or plans that we make. Thank you for reminding us through your word in Psalms that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. designed uniquely by you. Give us peace for today and trust for tomorrow. We love you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Again, thank you for joining me today. This has been fun, sharing what God's doing in both of your lives. What a blessing. This is Penny Cook with Manna-Festations, trusting God for today. As always, if you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, rate, and review, you know, all of the stuff that we say on that. But it really does help us out. Help us to get the word out to other people and share so that they can be blessed with our stories too. All our content's free, and links and show notes are posted below. See you next Monday.
You don't have to walk this path alone. I'm here, I'll take you through the hill you climb. All on your own is steep and long. In the darkness of your world, I'll meet you on your knees and make all things new. And as Jesus takes my hand, he whispers, I got this, my baby.